Hi, Gama here. In this video, we'll learn how to set up correctly your Houdini plugin so you can open your Houdini session in the latest version of the City Sample project. So, without further ado, let's go with it. Hey, before continuing, please consider subscribing to the channel and push up the notification button so you have my latest update. Also, please consider acquiring my latest course on Udemy about creating your city with Houdini in Unreal Engine City Sample project, where I detailed all the steps you need to do so you can do your own custom city based on the City Sample project and the latest version of Houdini and Unreal Engine. Alright, I will show you two easy ways to fix your issues with your Houdini session. The first one, and the obvious one, when you open up the City Sample project, it comes with a plugin folder. This one comes already with the list of plugins that you need to run the City Sample correctly. What we are interested in is the Houdini plugin, and you found it here in the third party, and this is where you need to put your Houdini plugin. Where you get your Houdini plugin, you get it from the folder where you have installed your Houdini. In my case, I have Houdini 21.0.440, and there's here the version corresponding to my Unreal Engine version. This is very important because Houdini always comes shipped up with plugins for each engine you are using. For example, you have 3D Max, you have Binding, Maya, and so on and so forth. Obviously, the two main engines also have their plugin. So you have a plugin for Unity if you are a Unity guy, and also you have a plugin for Unreal. For this version of Houdini, the 21.0.440 comes with the 5.5, 5.5 PCG, 5.6, and 5.6 PCG. Those are the Unreal version supported by this version. So if you are in a different version of Houdini, you will have other version that you need to correspond to your current version of Unreal Engine. So the time I was using Houdini, I was having Unreal 5.5 and this version of Houdini. This is why I'm using Unreal 5.5. So if I go back to my City Sample project, you will have this Houdini engine in the menu waiting for you, and this is where you start your session by clicking on the button Create Session. So let's do that. You can see that now my Houdini session is connected, and that means that I can start now working with Houdini tools and doing synchronization between the two environments. This is the first way to have your Houdini correctly set up and working. Also, this implementation is very interesting because you will not have Houdini for all your Unreal Engine project. That means that each project will have his own version of Houdini. This is where you can, for example, have many different versions of Houdini installed, and you can opt for one another by deciding in your project folder if you are using this or no. So where to install the Houdini plugin? This is the folder where if you want to have it available for all your Unreal Engine project, you always go to Program, Epic Games, your version of Unreal Engine plugins, and runtime. To make my point clear, I prepared two projects, and those projects are new projects that I created with Unreal 5.5. And here we have two projects that are totally blank. There's nothing there. So I will open the project and see if there's the Houdini plugin there. So you can see there's no Houdini icon here in the menu. So it means that Houdini has not been set up for this project. And also there's no plugin folder in it. So if I go back to this project, my project 2, you can see that there's no plugin folder here. Same for the project 3. You can see no plugin folder here. And I start the project. Now we want to have the project being able to go in a Houdini session. Like I said, we want to have the plugin available for all our projects. So what I will do, I will start by copying the Houdini plugin. And remember, we are using the version 5.5 of Unreal. So this is where to go. Unreal. The version we are using is 5.5. So we'll copy those. Copy. And we will paste them in the runtime folder of my version of Unreal, which is the UE 5.5 engine plugins runtime. Before that, let's check if there's Houdini here. You can see there's nothing. So there's no Houdini plugin whatsoever. So let's paste our plugin here. All right. So those are the files for the Houdini plugin, and they are ready for all the Unreal project. Let's now close and reopen the two project and see what happens. So if I go back to project 2 and I open it, now you can see that we have the Houdini icon and we can start the session at any time. And you can see that we successfully started the session, although there's no plugin folder in my project, because the Houdini plugin is now available for each and every UE 5.5 project you start. So let's check with my project 3. You see there's no plugin folder here. And now again, you can see that the Houdini icon is here. So we can also start the session from here. Of course, you can always also do a plugin folder for your project and start your session by copying the plugin folder. You create, if I want, for example, to let's say remove the plugin so it will not be available everywhere. So the way to do that, I will close first the project depending on the plugin. We need to go where the runtime of Unreal here. And if we remove these folders from here, Houdini will be no longer available for your new project. So if I start again the project, like my project 2, it won't have the plugin available for him. And the same goes for my project 3. So you can see now the icon is no longer there because the Houdini plugin is no longer available for it. So it's up to you on which way you want to choose. Either you put it available for all your project. If you are using only one version of Houdini, obviously it would be maybe the best solution for you. But if you are using different version of Houdini, then in this case, you should create a plugin folder and put the corresponding version of Houdini to your Unreal Engine. Very important thing, there's also a place where you can find your Unreal Engine version of Houdini. So let's go to the Houdini GitHub plugin. So if you Google it, this place, this is the Git for the Houdini plugin. And here you can find all the version of the plugin for whatever version of Unreal you are using. So either you compile it from code, or either you go to the releases, and there you can find all the releases, and you have to look up for the Houdini version you are using. For example, I'm using the 20.0.444.4.0, and here you can see that I'm having the version 3 of the plugin. If I want to be up to date, I should go with this one because it will be maybe way earlier than the version you are already that maybe is shipped with your version of Houdini. So you go here and you have the latest version, and of course you download the corresponding version for you. So if you are using UE 5.5, we should download this one. Okay, so let's test it out and see what happens. Let's download it first. And what I will do, I will use now the version that I downloaded from GitHub, and I use it in my project 2 or project 3. There's also the possibility to have the source code for the plugin. So if you want to compile your Houdini, it will be suitable for you. You'll use the source code so you can compile this 20.0.44.0 for example, a version of Unreal which is maybe not compatible or not yet ready. So for example, I'm using maybe UE 5.7 and I don't have the plugin for it. So maybe I need to compile it for source. All right, I think it finished our GitHub version of Houdini. So plugin, so I will take it from here, I will copy it, and now I need to put it in the plugin folder of the project I want to test it in. So remember, we want to use it in the my project 2 or project 3. So let's go with my project 2, and we need to create a plugin folder. Oops, sorry, plugins. And here I will put my zip that I downloaded from the GitHub site, and I extract it here. So there's Houdini engine, and we have all the plugin there. So now we'll open up the my project 2. There it is. So you can see that the session is waiting for us. So let's test it out if it works or not. Start session, and successfully started. That means that the GitHub that we downloaded is also working for us. This pretty much wrap up our section about the Houdini session, how to open it successfully in your project. And I hope that this lecture has been enjoyable to you, and that you do understand now the difference between using the plugin for all your project or only for one specific project, depending, of course, on your version of Unreal. So I would like to thank you if you hang out till this moment in the lecture. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and push up the notification button so you can get my latest lecture. So it's a bye for now.